happens. But I'm all set up. I can easily go into the house after. See, the only things I have to do outside is do the alignment at the mount. I like to use my hand controller. And I don't have I sold all my focusers, robo focusers and all that. So I have a nice Moonlight focuser and I manually focus it by hand because this scope holds its focus really good. Once I focus it, that's it for the night. So I just manually focus it and that's it. Everything else I can do in the house.
Well, yeah.
All right. All right, and it looks like my focus is off since last time because I was using, it was different temperatures last time. Still doesn't look too bad. I'm going to go for this, I think. I'm going to pick, that looks a little bright, so let's try this one for calibrating. Okay, we're going to calibrate.
Okay.
If I can show, this one should be moving. And let's see, let's let it go. No, I don't, Graham. Graham, are you the gentleman who emailed me earlier? Okay, because I couldn't get back. Sorry, I've been so busy today. But yeah, I still have both cameras, the Orion Starshoot and the Miloslick Skyraider Auto Guider. Both are mono, and they are both good. I said in my email to you that I have both, and I'm going to keep both. And the reason is I like to have a backup just in case. Not that one is better over the other. They're both good. The Miloslick has higher resolution because of the smaller pixels, and it is a smaller sensor. It's a 1/3 as opposed to the 1/2 inch in the Orion. But they're both good guide scopes. You can't go wrong. I don't know what's causing your horizontal lines. Now I got a little bit here. Is this what you're talking about, horizontal lines? Because this isn't that bad. As I said in my email to you, it could be your cabling. You might have to shield the USB cable. Oh, it is. You don't get your money back when you sell used stuff. You lose big time. So if you can hang on to it, you might as well. But if you need the money, then sometimes you have to sell to buy other stuff. But do you take darks, Graham, when you're using your auto guider? Because you should. I would. Now darks you don't really need too much in these temperatures, but I would always recommend taking darks. Yeah, take your darks when you're doing auto guiding because it will reduce your warm pixels, and sometimes your guider can get confused if it's a warm pixel or a, see that's a pixel I think right there. It might choose a pixel to guide on rather than a star. So calibration, oh, okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, so it's guiding pretty good. Okay. I do not want to restart this. Get lost, I'll restart later. All right, so it is guiding, so we're set. So I'll move this out of the way. How annoying when you haven't turned your computers on for a month or so. You get all these updates. It's very annoying. All right, let's go back to M42. Okay. Okay, I'll go near it. I'll go near it and then I'll just Alright, so we're at AGC 0. I decided to leave it on 0 rather than off because it's an HA filter. I'll see if I get the trapezium in 3 seconds. We need to get the trapezium in 3 seconds to use HDR, so we'll see what happens. Okay, now I didn't click dead on M42, so let me just click and make sure it's on there. Okay, let's see. I think it's on pretty close to it. Okay, now it's on M42. Let me just slew to it, see if that shifts. Okay, so it's not too bad. Let me just... Now in the house I can use the sky control to move it, but out here I'm using the hand controller. It looks like AGC 0 is about the right choice, because I can see the trapezium pretty good there. Now that's at 2.1 though. Let's see, 3 seconds. I might have to change it. Hi Larry. Alright, let me just test this at 3 seconds. This will give me an idea. Okay, looks like 3 seconds is going to be fine. So I'm going to get the guider going. Yeah, the focus is off. Now always when you're guiding, you don't want a very super sharp focus. It is better to have a little bit of a defocus, so this might work out okay. So let's see, let me pick the star here for guiding. And let's see, make sure the errors are okay. I want it under 1, 1.11. 1.13, it's not too bad. Okay, drop, so it seems like it might be okay, so let's try this. Alright, now this is the first time. I'm going to expand this so you can see the new Miloslick layout. It's up here. Okay, that looks okay. So right now we have 4 tabs. We have the original camera tab, that has all the settings here. We have the video. That is basically the same as before. And just put down. And frame for stacking, hot pixel removal, dark frame subtraction, and now the image. This is all the new. We do have now a basic adjustment where you have your brightness, sat, hue, gamma. You have levels. So the difference now is this histogram is not getting the data. It's not showing the input of the data. It is now showing the output value. So it's reversed now, which is a much better way of doing it. We have an advanced levels where you can individually adjust all your colors. And we have a 4-point curve. Levels and advanced levels are both linear adjustments. Curves is a non-linear. Okay, and all these work on 16 bits. Now that doesn't mean we're putting out 16 bits. It's still an 8-bit frame grabber. But according to Bill, and he should be coming on later and he can explain everything better than I can, it is working in a 16-bit format. So you'll see the stack, everything's much smoother on the histogram. Before it was jaggedy on the histogram, it will be a much smoother histogram. Later on, when I adjust, also when we were adjusting the old histogram, your peak would stay stationary and you would move either your black point, your gamma, or your white point to the peak. Now, when I adjust the level, you can see the peak moves, and that's That's the way it should be. Okay. So I'm going to get this image going first. Now Bill told me I'm better off to leave my video settings on from here on default. Do not touch any of these video settings. It's for your frame grabber, but you want to work with your brightness in software by using the basic adjustments here. Okay, and we'll go into that. So I'm going to go to HDR. I'm going to try, let's see, we're going really, let's do all 10. And we'll leave it at +1/4 stops. Okay, so very good. This correct for exposure. I'll explain about it later, but this has not been fixed yet. Bill is working on it currently, and he's hoping to have this working by the next release. It's looking good, and there's some fantastic ideas of how this is going to function. So it's going to be good. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try 10 of 10. Hi, drawer. Okay, I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to start stacking. And let's see what happens. So right now we're going to get a 4, a 3, 4, 5, 6, right up to 12. We're probably going to have to go to a half stop instead. I will. And we're guiding still, so that's not too bad. All right, what is happening here? It's been too long. I forgot what the heck I'm doing. Anyways, let me stop this. Oh my gosh, it's been too long. Okay, half stop. Stop. Okay, I have HDR 10. Start. Okay, hang on a sec. Help me out here. What am I supposed to do? I forgot what I'm supposed to do. How do I get this to stack? I'm so embarrassed. It's been a while. Help me out, people. This thing is just clicking. This is only staying stationary at 3 seconds. Oh, no, don't say that, Pat. I'm doing it right? Oh, darn. Okay, so I haven't forgotten what I'm doing then. Okay, so, oh no, not a bug out in the winter time here. All right, I don't even think less stops. Let's try less exposures. Let's try 5 exposures. Let's try it. Press shutter, it should auto start. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Pat. Okay. Let's see. Nope. No, we got a bug. We have a bug in it. It looks like it's just staying on 3 seconds only. It's not going up in duration at all. Okay, I'll try that. Uncheck this. Man, it's so cold to fiddle around with this. Okay, what it can say, untick box and retick. I'm doing that, yep. All right, yep, thanks, Ken. Okay, Michael, Now, I'm going to hit the shutter button, and let's see. Let me turn this to blue for you, too. Looks like it doesn't want to change the blue either, the color. You're stacking to leave the video setting set to default and close it up and go into your image and use these settings, which is software, and it's in 16-bit, so it'll be much more accurate. So right now the histogram looks pretty good the way it is. Gamma, we could go over a little bit. And your brightness, we can bring that down a little bit if we want. There. Basically, you have your levels. This is output. This is the output value. You have your number of pixels this way that are engaged. You can see right there at the peak, that's got the highest area of the pixels, all the way down to here. And we got from 0 to 255. These numbers will be changing later on curves. You have your y-axis, your output I mean, and your input, and you have your 0 to 255. Later on, when you make changes to the curves or levels, these numbers, 255 and 0, will change to show exactly where you are. And I'll get into that later. You have your curves for contrast, non-linear, more accurate, Howard, for contrast. You use your curves, and I'll get into that. So, do you remember before when we had your black, gamma, and white here, and we slide the gamma towards the left to brighten it up? Well, now it's opposite because this is output data, not input now. So if we go gamma towards the white, it will brighten because we're going towards the brighter, whiter values. You can see. Okay. If we go gamma the opposite, it will darken. Same thing, if we raise the black point, you'll see once I raise the black point this way, that's raising. Going to the left is lowering, going to the right is raising. So when I raise the black point, this peak will start going against the wall and will be clipping. You'll see it. This is the beauty about this, is the histogram now moves. The peak is now moving rather than before the slider going to the peak. You can see exactly your clipping now. So go back. And yeah, I could add another second. Much better. This is more like Photoshop. This is really the way it should be. And again, if you go with your white, it's hard to do this with the gloves out here in the cold. But you can see this peak will move towards the right as I lower the white point. This is getting brighter and brighter. Now I can't show this because it is a black and white camera, but if you want a color balance using advanced levels, you can individually adjust your color balance by moving the midpoint of either the red. You can click on red, green, blue, or your luminance, and adjust either towards the black or towards the white. Going towards the white would increase the red, going towards the black would decrease. Okay. Curves, this is non-linear, very, very nice to have this. Going down towards the bottom is like Photoshop, it's the input, you will be going darker. You can grab the black point here, move it across, or down to the S curve. You can also work on your red, green, or blue. This needs a little bit of work on still. It is flickering a little bit, so it needs a bit of work still. Bill's working on that. Now the nice thing is if you make a change to your blue, which it's not a color camera, but I'll just do it for fun. That's really artificial blue. It's not a real blue. Okay, now if you go to your luminance and you reset it, your blue should not, well, it shouldn't reset. I don't know why it did. Oh, because it's black and white, that's why. But anyways, when you have a color camera and you make all your color adjustments, you can reset them individually on the RGB and it won't affect your luminance. So that's pretty cool, where before the old way it used to affect it. So we can do the curves. Basically this image isn't too bad the way it is, but we can just brighten it, darken a little bit. That. I don't know if I'm stacking, maybe that's why. Yeah, see, it takes time to kick in. It's pretty nice. You can see what it does. So if we turn it off, turn it on. Yeah, definitely makes a difference. It's more controlling. You have better dynamic range with the curves than the levels. Levels is very linear. You're only limited to so much control. With the curves, you have all these points and you can pinpoint more accurately. Like in Photoshop, if I was to click on the image right here, it would pop up a little dot here showing me exactly on the curve where I am pointing to. So if you really want to fine tune this image, say you don't want to blow out this and you want to bring out more detail here, you could do that with curves. Now obviously if I click on the image it doesn't show here, but you could pretty well find out where it is. You got your 4 points, you can bring it up a little bit towards there like that, you know, make your curve darker that way. You can really fine tune it really nicely. But since it's black and white, I can't show the RGB though, unfortunately, but you can do all on the separate colors also. So you have so much tools to work on now. Oh yeah, he's worked hard on this. And this software is eventually going to lead into USB cameras too. That's one of the goals. It's going to be working compatible with USB cameras in the future, which will be nice. Yes, you could make false color, Graham. Yep. Basically, this is false color when I'm doing that, because this is a black and white camera. So I'm basically making false color right there. Yes, it's going to be exciting, Warren. Lots of good things coming up with this software, especially once we get this fixed. Where was that one? Image frame stacking. This one, correct for image shift. Bill's working on rotation and shifting. You know, because some Altas, when they point towards zenith, they have not only a shift, they have a rotation movement also. So he's working on that. Before, it used to work on one star in the corner, and the problem was it got confused. If it was a pixel or a star, it wasn't enough to distinguish the difference. So now he's working on a 4-star point system. And there's going to be other advancements built into this correct for image exposure, image shift. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So we'll see what happens. So there's a lot of hope for people using Miloslick Exterminators Extremes with their Altas. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. I'm basically just getting, this is my first time using this one. myself. So I like this though, I really, really do. So if there's not much I can do about the core because I can't do HDR, but if I wanted to get more of the outer, I could even raise the gamma a little bit. That up. I wonder if the keys work with it. I'm using a mouse. No, I've used high AGC before, and that shouldn't matter. Frame stacking. I'm gonna take that's off. Okay. Yeah, you can see it in the star there. Where's the zoom in Miloslick? I guess is it this one? 100%. Trying to find where the zoom is. Okay. Okay, there it is there, I think. Here we go. That's at 200%. Do you see what I mean about the star? I'll go down to about 150. See what I mean? Kind of blocky, pixelated for some reason. Okay, no problem, Jack. I think there's definitely frost somewhere. It's blocking a lot of the horse head. Yeah, we're not getting much detail at all. I think I have some frost building up. Anyways, let me put it back to 100. Yeah, I should be able to get that better than that. That's a shame. That's a shame. If I got frost building up, that's not going to be a good session at all. Yes, I do, Al. That's what I'm saying. That I have. There's a lot of blockiness on the screen here. Yeah, I'm going to have to pat. I think I have frost in there. Definitely we're losing this. Let's go to the moon and see what's happening with the moon.